Hare Krishna. Be not angry that you cannot make others as you wish them to be, because you cannot make yourself as you wish to be. Thomas A. Kempis. In our relationships, we often feel frustrated when others don't live up to our expectations, when others don't do what we expected them to do, when they don't change themselves and improve themselves in ways we wanted them to. And sometimes, seeing this, we become angry, we become snappy, and that strains the relationship further. And at one level, we may say, yes, this is so simple, why are they not doing it? And we may feel our anger is justified. It's such a simple thing to do, why are they not doing it? But the point is that it is simple from our perspective. It may not be simple from their perspective. Rather than us getting angry at why they are not changing, we can look at ourselves. We all have areas in which we want to improve. Some things we may just be naturally good at, but there are some things we all struggle at ourselves. And we make resolutions, no, I'm going to change this, I'm not going to act like this. And yet again we relapse. Now, we may have an area of weakness that is different from their area of weakness. Our area of struggle, because it is different from their area of struggle, their area of struggle may not be an area of struggle for us at all. Say somebody is very habitually, naturally clean and orderly. And then somebody else just keeps their premises so messed up. Their room messed up, their clothes messed up. Why don't you clean up things? He says. We tell them, and it just takes few minutes. Why don't you do it? But then, we may find that they don't clean up things and we get irritated. But we may have our own weakness that say, we are never on time. We say, I plan to be on time, but just something comes up or somehow something happens, and we are not on time. And for them, they may be punctual. So what happening here is, just as punctuality may be a challenge for us, so similarly, cleanliness is a challenge for them. Now, we may be feeling it's so easy to keep things clean, why don't you do it? And they may be angry at us, what is so difficult about coming on time? You could do it, it's just not serious. So, rather than looking at others' problems from our level, and this is so easy, we need to compare their struggles with the areas where we struggle, and then we will become more understanding. Now this doesn't mean that just because it said that we shouldn't become angry with others because then we can't change them to the way we want them to be, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to encourage others to improve, or that we shouldn't help them to improve. But it's just that how we do it. When we become angry, we alienate people. By understanding, by comparing with ourselves, we see the essential similarity of all people. So the Bhagavad Gita says that the summit of spiritual vision is to see the essential similarity of all living beings. So when we see that they are also souls like us, they are also covered by conditionings like us, their conditionings may be different from ours, and that's why certain things are difficult for them. But when we understand this, then we don't become antagonists, we become partners. Rather than seeing that person as a trouble creator and we as the victim, we become partners. We see, yes, this person has this issue, and if we have a good relationship and the other person also understands, yeah, this thing irritates them, so maybe I should improve this, but they just can't do it because it doesn't register within them. So we can become partners and help them. That means, okay, not just in a nagging way, getting angry, but in a gentle way, remind them, assist them, help them, ask them, explain to them why whatever is angering us, why is it important for us. and then ask them, how can I help you in doing this? So basically we need to become more understanding and more realistic. More understanding means that we see things from their perspective, not our perspective. And the way to do that is by comparing their problem areas not with our comfort areas but with our problem areas. So we will appreciate the struggle that they need to go through and then become more realistic. Realistic means just as our problem areas, we are not able to overcome them so easily. It takes time for us. So similarly, it will take time for them. And when when we become understanding and when we become realistic, then we will find that just these two things will decrease the strain in the relationship. It will decrease the animosity substantially. And with that gone down, when people perceive that we are angry with them, we are irritated with them, then they go in the defensive. Even if they somehow do the right thing, they will do it resentfully. Not out of a desire to become better, they will do it simply to avoid us nagging them. And when we are not there to nag them, then again they will relapse to their old thing, old habit. But if we can inspire them, if we show them that we understand, that we are realistic, then what happens? We will appreciate even small incremental changes that they make. Because we will see that for us also in our area of weakness, we cannot make dramatic changes. But we can only move for incremental changes. So we will also appreciate the incremental changes. And when they see that we are appreciating them, then they will feel encouraged. And rather than seeing us as people who nag them, they will see us as someone who assists them, who is on their side, not against them. And that for any relationship to flourish, the two people in the relationship need to feel that we are on the same side. That we are on the same side, whatever this problem area, it is not that we are fighting, this problem is here and both of us are going to fight the problem area together. When we have this vision, then we won't become impatient. And in some areas, people may just not change. And we need to accept that also, just as in some areas, we ourselves may not be able to change. We want to, but after having tried repeatedly, we decide this is just not for me to do. So just as we learn to live with some of our weaknesses, similarly, we need to learn to live with some of the weaknesses of others. But we can avoid that self-righteousness which alienates others by comparing their problem areas not with our comfort areas but with our problem areas. And ultimately, if we understand that we are not controllers, it is God, Krishna, who is controller, and He is in the hearts of all living beings, then He is in our heart, He is in their heart. So rather than getting exasperated about why people are not changing, if we become more prayerful, more devotional, then God from within our hearts will guide us how best to act with them, and He from within their hearts will guide them how best to change themselves. And thus, by making the relationship more spiritual, we can also make the relationship more cordial. Thank you. Hare Krishna.